What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Having a look at Bitcoin, we still have this nice breakout of this pattern. A little bit of a red candle today, but I'm going to let you know what I think is going on right now because there are some people saying, oh, this could just be a fake out and we're just going to come back down again. I will give you my honest opinion on what is happening right now in the Bitcoin chart. And I also want to talk about something that was really popular in the beginning of the year. Last year, we were talking about these Wyckoff patterns, distribution and accumulation. It seems like no one's really talking about them right now, but is it possible that the whales are actually simply playing games with us yet again? And the biggest question is, would they actually do the same thing twice or even 3 times? And this does make me wonder if we are in this bearish trend, and we have gone over the possibility of how long we could be in this consolidation period for, then I would think at this point, it's not a matter of how low could the Bitcoin price go, but how long are we going to actually stay down in these levels before having the next major move? It's almost like a ticking time bomb, and time is running out to potentially get Bitcoin at these levels. So we're going to talk about all that today. Interesting stuff. And also, I'm going to keep today's video short and sweet. And if you do appreciate actual short videos, slap a like, let me know, drop a comment below. And of course, if you are not subscribed, you are absolutely missing out. We make these videos for the most part every single day. So let's dive in without further ado. So obviously having a look right here, guys, you can see if we actually take this on the daily, you can see that we did have this downward sloping trend. We did in fact break out of it. And right now, what we're actually doing is, consolidating a little bit right here, which is actually pretty good, right? Now, I'm not saying we can't have, a pullback, that this isn't a fake out, but I would say that at this point, the longer we actually hang out in this area without falling, the better it actually is. That means that we're actually putting in that consolidation. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out is obviously we know that Bitcoin and the S&P have been trading quite similarly, and the S&P, as predicted, pretty much like we said, was going to probably trade in this range for a little bit, right? Now, I'm not saying we can't have a little bit of a fake out or something like that, but I am anticipating some form of consolidation, whether it be a flag or a pennant or something like that. And I do expect that the next major move will in fact be to the upside rather than to the downside. Now, obviously you could have some fake outs along the way, but if we go back to the Bitcoin chart over here, and we just switch it over to the 4-hour, you could see how many times we've actually hung out on this area, right? And I know what you're saying, Bart Simpson, right? No, but seriously, having a look right here, guys, I do believe that minimally, we're going to at least try to get Bitcoin back up to this $33,000 level. And hear me out, even if it takes a few days, we consolidate, might even have a fake out down here. If we did retest the previous resistance as support, that would be absolutely amazing. That for me would be the confirmation of the move. And that is really where you would be able to put in the safest trade if you were looking to trade. But ultimately, if we either came down to this level or just continue to consolidate here, I either way anticipate that we find our way up here. And the first resistance is obviously going to be 33. But you can see right here, if we take this downward sloping trend, you can see how this has actually held us down for quite a long time right here, right? So if we follow this purple trend out to this area, you can see that this is potentially where Bitcoin is looking. So I still see Bitcoin going to around that $33,000 level before potentially going down any lower or anything like that, right, guys? And by the way, if you are interested in learning how to trade, make sure that you check out the tutorial popping up above. And also just want to let you know that there's over $20,000 in bonuses below, because if you use the link for Femex, not only do you get $4,100 just by using the link that I have underneath the video, but you also get an additional $4,500 for that deposit. So that's $8,600 on Femex alone, no KYC, $10 a month spot trading. So it's a really good offer, guys. Definitely take advantage of that, especially in these bearish times. Remember, link below in the video. The other thing too, obviously, is the DXY is having a little bit of a rebound. So, if the dollar looks like it's getting short-term momentum to the upside, then you do see a little bit of stall in things like crypto and, stocks and stuff like that. But ultimately, I still do expect that we come down here and at least test the 100 level, which is actually good and does suggest that there is more upside for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And if we actually have a look at what's going on right here, we obviously have still been in this pattern, right? We did lose this major support right here, but we did in fact catch this upward sloping support, and we are still holding. If you guys can see right here, we are holding above this major level. Now, what I want to talk about is this Wyckoff accumulation distribution. We haven't talked about this in a while. Now, you remember there was that channel, I forget what they're called, something. Remember, he pointed it out. And this is where we really started realizing that now that the big guys are in the game, right? We're starting to see Wall Street come in. We're starting to see the institutions come in. They're starting to play some of their games. And these are the whale games that I'm talking about. So if you guys remember this Wyckoff distribution right here that was sort of signaling the top, you could see that we do have these peaks. Then you have this higher peak right here. And that is the final one. And if we actually come back and look what we did here, we actually did have this right here. But look, 1, 2, 3, boom, right? We had it. Now, obviously, fractals, they're not exact. They're just sort of schematics to base off of, what we're looking at. But essentially, if we actually go over here to what trader Tardigrade said, which, by the way, I love tardigrades. They're like the indestructible little microorganisms. Pretty cool. Like that name. But he talks about a Bitcoin Wyckoff accumulation that could literally be happening right now. Now, if we zoom into this, you will notice, however, that this trend down here lasted quite a long time, whereas this right here hasn't lasted as long. But if we actually go back, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Now, let's just take a fractal, right? Now, this doesn't mean it's going to happen or play out exactly like this. But if we just take this, from here, and I don't know, let's take it to the top. Let's take this entire move, the whole thing right here, and let's just bring it over. Now, this is just for fun, obviously. This isn't saying that this is exactly what we're going to do. But if we do kind of line this up right here, and obviously, like I said, this is a fractal. And this thing is going absolutely wild. And we just move this over here. So this would mean that possibly we could go lower, right? This would mean that we could potentially come back down after having this move. Or, maybe the move needs to go a little bit higher. Maybe it's something like this, right? Maybe this is something, right? We come up here, we retest around 36, 37, which I did have a $38,000 target. And then, we potentially come down here. It drags out a little bit longer sideways and goes up. Right? So the question is, how long are they going to do this for? Because we did have a target, we were looking essentially to get back above this 21 exponential. And we did point out that back here, it was 13 monthly candles. And then the 14th, we popped, right? Over here, it was 6 monthly candles. And then the 7, we popped. So that's half of it. So over here, you could have, 3 monthly candles. And then halfway through the 4th month, you could have the pop, right? Which means that you would only have about 3.5 months really to accumulate Bitcoin at these levels. Now, this isn't saying we're going to new all-time highs by the end of the year, but it is something to consider because rather than worry about, oh my goodness, what's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin over the next few months, I think really what we should be paying attention to is what if we only have a very short opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin at these levels before Bitcoin continues moving to the upside. Because if we actually go back here, you can actually see that if we do stay within this range right here, you know what I mean? We could be down in this area for a little bit, have a fake out, come back down, maybe even have a fake out down to that 200 weekly moving average, which I can actually put that on for you real quick if you want to see where that would be. That would be moving up something like this. And then we would continue to the upside. And, we did have a target for November, but maybe it extends a couple extra months till January where we do reach this apex right here. And then that's when you see the absolute Bitcoin blast off, right? So it's not impossible that we could see a double bottom or something, or even a triple bottom, but is this just more whale games? We have to pay attention and we have to be smart because this is what they do. They fake you out, right? They, especially, on the short-term time frames, this is why it's difficult for traders who try to day trade because they know the levels that we're all watching. And they know that once it gets below a certain level, everyone's going to start getting bearish. Everyone's going to start shorting. And that's exactly when they reverse it, right? So that's one of their tricks. And the second one, obviously, is just boring investors so much that they completely forget about it, right? Now, we did speak about these areas down here, and it has gotten smaller. However, we do know that we still need to get back above this 600 daily, which currently is sitting at around 41,200 $200, which based on the time frame that I've talked about for over a week now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch yesterday's video. That means that essentially by November or December of this year, we could have Bitcoin trading back above 40,000, and then all of this right here would have been missed opportunities for anyone sitting on the sideline. So I did just want to bring that up to you. And I also did have some news. So Fidelity, this is from Fidelity, as the crypto market continues to expand, the investment management giant Fidelity Investments is planning to keep up with the expansion by increasing its crypto branch Fidelity Digital Assets. So they currently have 200 employees, and they recently confirmed that they were looking for another 210 employees. So this is more than doubling the employees that they already have right now. You got to ask yourself, why do we need this much help if it wasn't something that was in demand? And like they say, as the demand for digital assets continues to steadily grow and the marketplace evolves, we will continue to expand our hiring efforts. So considering talks of inflation, unemployment, things like that, these guys are actually trying to hire new people to work for them because they see the demand for crypto increasing in the future. And I was going to go into this validator leak secret Luna war room chat logs, but honestly, I'm a little tired of the Luna news at this point. You guys can read it, but ultimately, there's just been a lot of shady stuff going on, and I think that this is going to be one of those things in hindsight where once all the information does officially come to fruition, it's definitely going to be one for the history books, right? But ultimately, you can see right here, guys, we are falling. We have been rejected. So if the stocks do actually get full-on rejected from these levels and we can't hold, that will probably be bad for Bitcoin. But like I said, I am anticipating some form of an accumulation pattern, whether it's, some kind of a bull flag or a bull pennant or something like that. The markets are incredibly oversold. We are more than due for a bounce. And yeah, this is that critical resistance. It is where you would want to short, which is probably why a lot of people are shorting. But that being said, guys, I definitely think that we should see some more upside from Bitcoin. But, we have to see what goes on with that. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. We will be making these updates every single day. When I do see something super important in the charts, I will let you know. Right now, we're just in a consolidation period. We could go a little bit lower, right? Like I said, they do those fake outs. And ultimately, if we were to follow that fractal, yes, we could actually have a double or triple bottom, even revisit the $25,000 area, something like that. Even lower, it's possible. But ultimately, I do think that this is an accumulation phase. And once we do break out of it, there is absolutely no turning back. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. And if you haven't watched these videos popping up right here, right now, and you want to learn how to trade, check them out right now. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.